Mr. Speaker, I would be extremely brief, but I must add my voice to such an initiative and a motion that is before this House. Mr. Speaker, my ministry is responsible for the administration of public assistance. And of course, we have approximately 3,000, almost 4,000 persons who depend on the government through public assistance in receiving a mere sometimes $300 to $400, and persons who on disability receiving approximately $200 thereabout. That would assist them in food. Mr. Speaker, anyone who is responsible for the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, or have participated in the business of vulnerability, one of the most scary situations is that of indigence, or what I call food poverty. The idea of persons not having sufficient food or not having food to eat is a concern. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the reflection of the food basket by which the poverty level is estimated, it is a concern for us that at every point in time, as a country, that there's adequate fiscal space for persons to have basic food items for survival. But Mr. Speaker, in recent times, the issue of the multidimensional poverty index has allowed most nations to revisit the issue of poverty. And at the top of that scale of multidimensional poverty, the issue of nutrition and child mortality is at the head of it. In fact, the multidimensional poverty index pay attention to health, education, and standard of living. But the first red flag is highlighted at nutrition and child mortality. In 2017, thereabout, when an assessment was made of St. Lucia's situation as it relates to the multidimensional poverty, 36% thereabout was considered to be within that region or vulnerable to the multidimensional poverty issue. Mr. Speaker, I recall during COVID, while this administration was responsible, and the action towards crisis, a time of crisis, it concerned me personally, that an administration who promised that there would be a complete removal of VAT did not see the need to address food items through VAT at a time of crisis. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, some of the most horrific statements I've heard by politicians was from their side, that if they don't eat, they will not die, or they will not suffer too much. These were pronouncements made by members of this side during the time of crisis. That statement, not from you, this side. Thank you. Not you, sir. Not you, sir. The two members to the extreme end on your side can relate. Yes, but the fact that, yes, my geography must be correct in that regard. But Mr. Speaker, I cannot help but to reflect on the posture of the government at that time. When a country is in crisis, a government that promised the complete removal of VAT was confronted with people having food and they did nothing. In fact, the statement made was that if they don't eat, they will not die. That statement was made. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, the issue of indigence, not income poverty, indigence, food poor, what it is to be food poor. Mr. Speaker, some people cannot relate that there are households where a mother needs to decide as to how she spent $100. And while the Prime Minister was presenting the list of food items that would become zero rated, I saw a body language as if, what is that? What is that? Does it amount to anything significant? I saw the body language. Mr. Speaker, when you traverse through communities like the Beck sauce, and you hear mother saying, "Qui moun qui quitte condensed milk là ouvert?" Who left the condensed milk open? You understand? You get a sense that that household is placing a value on a tin of condensed milk. When a mother decides on a morning, should I, of course, pay sanitary napkin or leave transportation, have to make decision with $100 and $150. Mr. Speaker, I had the opportunity and privilege during the implementation of STEP when I was responsible for the SSDF, when I spoke to a senior lady from the north of the island. And I asked her, "Qui sabay, qui man yo ka servi by STEP? La di misi ou pa ekopon. Misi ou pa ekopon. Le mwen ti la han sa la, mwen ka mette tak aswa kote. Pou si yon ka mwen atwa ka ek, mwen ka servi sa, ek mwen ka peche. I'm pinching it. I'm talking about $400. What is this to pinch? $400. Mr. Speaker, the list of items that has been zero rated, 70 items, food items, is so significant that the members on the other side must get back in their conscience and ask, why didn't they do what they had to do? And why say to the people, if you bring me there, I will remove VAT completely. And when there was an opportunity to remove VAT on food items, they did nothing. Instead, they said, if you do not eat, you will not die. In other words, just stay hungry a little more. Better days are coming, so to speak. Or the idea that your hunger will not last forever. I don't know what it is. Yeah? That sort of posture is what the government had at the time. But thank God there is a cabinet of ministers. Where I got that from? You should listen to your own self at times. You understand? You should listen to yourselves. Thank God. Thank God there is a cabinet of ministers. I know what you're talking about. You're trying to disturb me. There is a cabinet of ministers and a prime minister. And a prime minister. What are you saying? Okay. You understand? There is. Oh, they're replacing me? Oh, don't worry about it. They're replacing me? I have not heard that. But I'll tell you about that just now. You know? There is a prime minister who is concerned. There is concern about the poor people of St. Lucia. Mr. Speaker, I commend the Prime Minister. I commend the Prime Minister for removing VAT on housing materials. There are still people trying to build their homes. You know, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of all those persons who are on public assistance, the 3,500 persons, on behalf of those persons who are receiving the disability grant, I thank the Prime Minister for removing VAT on food items. And in closing, Mr. Speaker, through you, Mr. Speaker, let me tell the leader of the opposition who said that I'm being replaced, he should do like me. He should have done like me. Because when I went up the first time in 2016, I lost. And I stayed and I won.
Wait. You bought a seat?
No, I'm getting to that. But when you lost in Soufre, you left Soufre and you went up to Grosile like the people who are selling cassava and broom, asking where can you get a seat to buy. They told me that you went to View Fort and they say it's not for sale. When you went up, when you went to Mikud South, you told the people that there were greener pastures, and later they discovered you were referring to a horse race track. So let me tell you something. You cannot speak to me about I'm being replaced. As a matter of fact, you know, if there are persons, if I'm being replaced, you need to pay attention. Because I am okay. There may be a few persons who want me replaced, but there's an entire country who wants you out of this parliament. An entire country who wants you out of this parliament. So be like me. I did not purchase a seat. I did not purchase a seat. You understand? I did not purchase a seat. I stayed, I fought, I won, and when it's time to move on, I'll do so with grace. Let me tell you, and I'll tell you, I'll say to you through the senior minister, this August, through the speaker, sorry, this chamber, many men of substance have graced this chamber, and I feel honored to be sitting inside here. But I find for a former prime minister, no, it's not a farewell speech. It is a speech to you because it's your farewell coming. You understand? For you personally, for somebody who lacks emotional intelligence, for someone who does not have a sense of purpose, insensitive, and does not understand when to speak and how to speak, I find the only way you could remain in a house like here is when you have purchased it. But I'm telling you, the value of your purchase is running out. And the people of Micoud South will tell you what time it is because you have used all what they have paid for, and they will make a change in time to come. But I will remain grateful to the people of Castries Southeast and to the poor people that I represent. So so I'm telling you, I'll continue to represent poor people, and I stood up because this initiative is not just for the hoteliers. It is not about Joachim Henry. It's not about us who are sitting here. The people we represent probably do not have a voice like you. But I think you should stand up and applaud the Prime Minister, because those persons in Micoud would do well to know that they can buy foods in the supermarket cheaper, far much cheaper, 12.5% cheaper than what's going on. And this is what I thank the Prime Minister for on behalf of the poor people of St. Lucia. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.